Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on today's video. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions and y'all sent in a lot of good questions. So yeah, I'm gonna try and go through them a little bit on the quicker side so that this video is not like extremely drawn out, because I don't know if y'all know, but I could be really long-winded. So if the question requires a longer answer, I'll probably take the time, but if it's a quicker question, I'm gonna try and get through them. Before we get into it, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. So the first question is, would you ever cut your hair? I've definitely been on the fence about it. Honestly, more so leaning towards no, and the reason being is that my hair is really long. So at this point, when it's straightened, it's probably like down here. I will upload a picture on the screen of what my hair looks like straightened. But what's crazy is like the amount of shrinkage I have. So if I'm wearing my hair out and curly, it's really only gonna get about this long when it's curly and natural. So like sometimes I think about cutting my hair, but then I realize my hair already looks like it's cut. No matter how long it gets, it still looks to be about the same length. So I know if I cut my hair, it would take years and years for it to look shoulder length natural again. So yeah, my shrinkage is really, it's no joke. I've definitely been thinking about it. So I would say never. So the next question is how to be confident as a tall girl. So I don't know if y'all all know this, but I am 5'8.5", 5'9", and you know, how to be confident as a tall girl. I feel like you have to be confident in yourself in general. The fact that people are insecure about their height is sad, because we all come in so many different ranges, whether it's our skin tone, our hair texture, our height, our shoe size. And there are so many things that are out of our control. So I feel like the way to be confident as a tall girl or a tall woman is to just accept yourself for how you were created to be. I know that like when I was younger, it could be kind of awkward being the tall girl, but somebody's got to do it. So just embrace it. You literally cannot control it. So if you go around hunched over, you're only gonna hurt your own back, you know? But like I said, I'm 5'9". Corey is 6'5". So, you know, just because you're tall does not mean that you can't meet somebody who is a good height difference from you. And I'm not saying that everyone who's tall needs to be with someone who's like super tall, but I think a lot of times when people see us on Instagram, they think that we're like super short, but no, it's just I'm tall and he's tall. So together we're tall, and together I look short compared to him. So yeah, definitely just be confident in who God created you to be. He makes no mistakes. So the next question says, where do you normally buy your clothes? Honestly, I haven't been buying a ton of clothes lately because I haven't really been the most inspired. I've been more inspired as of late just because it is fall at this point and I love fall fashion. I recently picked this up from H&M, and yeah, prior to this, I literally have not been shopping for clothes. But to answer your question, I do like to shop at like H&M, Zara, Target. Where else do I shop? Express has like some really nice clothes. Yeah, that's about it. I really don't shop a ton of places. I also shop at like Ann Taylor and the Loft sometimes. But yeah, I'm pretty simple for like day-to-day clothes. And honestly, this summer I was buying a ton of active wear. So yeah, I'm just now getting into like buying regular clothes again. And it's honestly because of the fall. Love fall fashion. How many children do you hope to have? So initially we wanted to have like 4 kids like when we first got together, but now we've kind of like settled with 2. I think we would like a boy and a girl, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Whenever we have children, we really just want them to be healthy. So yeah, we'll see. But we wanted 4 and now it is down to 2. Do you like to watch sermons? If yes, whom do you follow the most? So when I first started taking my faith walk more seriously, like years ago, I watched sermons all the time. I don't watch them as often, like for entertainment, as I used to, although I probably should. But currently, Corey and I have been watching Dharius Daniels, and he is the pastor of Change Church. So yeah, whenever we watch sermons, that's usually what we watch. But I do want to watch some of like Priscilla Schreier's messages, because I feel like she's so wise. She's definitely on my list of people to binge watch sermons of. Are you in any fitness programs, or what keeps you structured in your workout routine? Corey created a workout regimen for us. So every 3 days it rotates. So the first day on Monday is leg day, which is like self-explanatory. We're focusing on the legs. And then Tuesday is pull day, which is like deadlifts, a lot of like pulling movements. So basically focuses a lot on like the back, like the, you know, just pulling and doing things like that. And then Wednesday we do push day. So like the bench press, the bench press and a lot of pushing movements, and then we rotate that. We work out 6 days a week, so we hit every day twice a week. So we work out Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday is the rest day. So yeah, that's a structure. And honestly, you can look up different ways to split out your workouts. I think they're called like splits, and we just do 3 days. But some people do like full body every day, or maybe rotate every 2 days. But yeah, I let Corey handle all that. Who/what inspired you to become a vlogger? I started my YouTube channel when I was in college, and I don't really feel like I was inspired by anybody, but I was definitely like, you know, really coming into who I am and who I was when I was in college, especially like my junior year, my senior year, just really trying to like live a more righteous lifestyle. So, you know, a lot of people are going out partying, drinking, you know, whatever, you know, doing the whole college thing. And I just didn't want to do that. So I started my YouTube channel as a hobby, and I've been going strong for many years now. I think I started at like the very end of 2013. I created my channel on my Christmas break when I was at home. And yeah, I've been on ever since. But yeah, nobody specifically inspired me. I just wanted to create content as a hobby because I was trying to live a righteous life. A hobby never hurt nobody. So I did get some questions about marriage, and I will answer some of those. So the first marriage question is how to handle finances in marriage. Honestly, my biggest piece of advice is to be on the same page. Like, or get on the same page if you're not, you know. It's really hard to have a budget and to be working towards a financial goal if the person that you're with isn't on the same page. You know, the Bible says a house divided cannot stand. You can go so much further when you're on the same page as your spouse. So for example, a couple years ago, I was fasting from social media, and God really put it on my heart to, cars are so loud out here. Anyways, a couple years ago, God really put it on my heart to fast social media. And during that fast, he really taught me a lot about getting out of debt and like a debt freedom journey and all of that. And I brought that to Corey, everything that I learned and everything that I found, and we have gone on the debt freedom journey together. So it would be very hard for me to want to be out of debt if he wasn't on board. So that's just my personal experience. But you know, other people, it might take more time to get your spouse on board with your finances. But my biggest piece of advice is to be on the same page. And honestly, you can and should talk about finances before getting married. It will really save you a lot of stress if that, you know, if you end up being with the sort of person that doesn't want to be on the same page. That might be a deal breaker, you know, or something to discuss in advance. So I'm all for talking about your financial goals in the beginning so that you can even see if y'all are compatible financially. So was there any time that you questioned your marriage? So I figure that this question is saying like, is there any time that I questioned if my marriage was gonna last? or, you know, because otherwise I don't understand the question, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I feel like in the beginning it was challenging because Corey and I have such different communication styles. And honestly, I had so much unresolved trauma that was just dormant in me prior to getting in my marriage. And it was just challenging to communicate. You know, it's very hard to have a healthy, communicative relationship when you're carrying baggage. And I'm just speaking from my own personal perspective. Like if Corey was sitting here, he would have his own answer, but this is from my perspective. And I always kind of look inward when I'm thinking about myself. But yeah, there's times in the beginning of the relationship where I'm just like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And because we're just very different in the way that we communicate, but through counseling, we have really learned some really great tools to communicate better. I have a whole video on this topic that I will have linked below. I don't question my relationship anymore though. Like I'm very confident, very solid, and very grateful for my marriage and for God bringing Corey into my life. So I don't live in a space of questioning my relationship. I hope that answered your question. So yeah, next question is, how do you handle conflict in marriage? So I think we covered this in the video that I'm gonna link below where we talked about like communication and conflict. But for me personally, I do best by just walking away. You know, if it's becoming a conflict, and calming myself down, because if I get really aggravated or frustrated or mad, I'm not able to communicate well. So, you know, so to deal with conflict in marriage, you have to deal with yourself, manage your feelings, manage yourself, manage your emotions, do what it takes for you to be able to be good. So for me, that's walking away, taking some deep breaths. No conversation that we're having is really that big of a deal. Like that's just for us in our relationship. So it's like when you're in a space where you're having a disagreement or arguing, it can feel like such a big deal. But at the end of the day, more often than not, it's about like small things. Like I can't even think of an example. We really don't be arguing like that anymore. But if you do struggle with conflict, I would just recommend finding ways to calm yourself down that does not include seeking that from the person. You know, how can you move through your feelings without an apology or without getting everything you feel off your chest? Like, how can you move through? What can you do to manage your feelings without anybody else needing to do anything else? So that could be journaling, taking a shower, praying, reading your Bible, washing your hair. Just calm yourself down. So for me, I could be super emotional, and that's what I do. I just calm down. And then when I'm calm, we can talk about it. And like I said earlier, like Corey would have his own answer for this question as well. But for me personally, just calming myself down and keeping it pushing. You know, never get too sucked in on an argument, because I promise you, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you likely won't even remember what y'all were arguing about. So the next question is, what do you like to do for fun? So for fun, I like to get boba, which is like tea. I like to get that. I like to go out to eat, like on date night. What do I like to do for fun? Chill, relax, watch YouTube videos. Like I love watching YouTube videos. I like to watch people's vlogs, like fashion hauls sometimes, and just chill. Like I love lighting a candle. I love making coffee or a matcha. I love making like random little food that I was just randomly craving. I like to bake. Like baking is fun to me. And just chilling, talking to my family, like FaceTiming my mom, my sister, talking to Corey's family. We like to call them as well. Like, y'all, I can talk. So yeah, that's what I like to do for fun. Just talk to people, give me a little beverage, and relax and light a candle. Like, y'all, I'm so chill. That's about it. Or maybe like I like to go to Home Goods, give me a candle, go to Bath and Body Works, go for a brisk walk. That's fun. And it's really like the things I like to do are not expensive. I just like to be chilling and not really have any responsibility and just relax. Is dating a younger man or one who has a lower education background than you disastrous? So I really don't know because my husband's older than me, a couple years older than me, and he has more education than me. But if those things were not the case, I don't think it would be disastrous. I think it would be okay, you know? So in your single season, what are some ways that you felt the Lord prepared you for marriage? I think God really helped me to embrace who I am. I remember being in college and this guy asking me the same question, what do you do for fun? What do you like to do for fun? And I felt so ashamed. My answer was so similar to my current answer. Like, I like to go to Starbucks, I like to go shopping. Like, that's what I said. And he just was not feeling my answer. And I felt bad. But now I can confidently say, yeah, I like to go to Starbucks and I like to go to the mall. What's good? Are you with it or not? Thankfully, I'm with somebody who likes to do the same things I like to do. Corey likes to eat. He likes to be out and about. And he's the type of guy that does not complain about going to the store or being in the mall or going to Home Goods. He really is just there. He's chilling. And I love that about him. One thing that I feel like God did to prepare me for marriage is to help me to accept myself. I'm different. And that is all right. You know, everybody is not the same. Everybody doesn't have to be the same. Like, you don't have to find the same things to be fun that somebody else does. Like, there's room to be yourself. Another thing I feel like God did to help prepare me for marriage is help me to raise my standards. So before I met my husband, I definitely raised my standards. And I had to be honest with myself. Like, I didn't want to entertain anybody that was not serious. You know, I had just moved to Houston for work after graduating from college, and I had to be honest with myself and set some boundaries. No guys are allowed over my house. I don't even remember, it's been some years, but I just made standards for myself. I have a video that I made in that season, which was called Being Christian and Upholding Your Standards or something like that. And I'll have a link below, but that's literally where I came to mentally before marriage. I met Corey so shortly after I made that video. It's crazy. So yeah, I will have that linked below. Current Netflix or Hulu shows. So I don't watch Hulu, but on Netflix, it's hard to find good shows that are like wholesome. You know, I don't want to watch anything with nudity or like cursing for real. So yeah, I don't even know what I would recommend. So yeah, if you have any good things, you let me know. Y'all let me know down below. What are you liking on Netflix? How long have you been on YouTube and how long did it take you to grow? So I've been on YouTube, like I said, since the end of 2013. And at this point, I'm like almost at 76K. So relatively, I would say I don't have a huge following. But I feel like my following is very, like, I feel like we get each other. Like, my audience is not hundreds of thousands or millions of people. But the people that do follow me, I feel like we could literally be friends in real life. Like, we're very like-minded. And I love y'all. So, yeah, I've been on here for several years. And how long did it take me to grow? I would say it's been very progressive. I'm still growing, you know, every day, but it's taken me the amount of time that I've been on YouTube to grow. And compared to other people who have been on YouTube shorter periods of time than me or longer, I would be considered like a smaller channel. All right, y'all, so my camera died, but I'm back. I only had a couple more questions, so just wanted to come back and finish out the video. So the next question is, have you and Corey started looking for a church home yet? And we have. We honestly were gonna try out a church this past Sunday, but like we can't find a church that's like requiring people to wear a mask. And I'm honestly not open to going to church in person in a room that people are not wearing masks at. So yeah, I'm definitely ready to join a church, more than ready, but I honestly don't want to be around people who are not wearing a mask indoors in such close proximity. So yeah, that's the current dilemma, but still on the hunt, you know. And even like with the church we watch online, I can see the audience. Like, some people have on masks, some people don't. And that does make me nervous. So yeah. The next question is, how do you and Corey manage to be compatible in a world where everyone has their own opinions? So with this question, I kind of just took it as, how are we able to be compatible? Wait, what? So this question was a little confusing to me because, you know, I don't know. It was a little confusing to me, but basically to me, this question means like, how are y'all compatible when the world is like, everyone is so unique, I guess. And in that regard, I think that Corey and I are compatible because we want the same things out of life. You know, we're not the exact same, but in the areas that are like the most important, we line up. You know, obviously like our faith, we both are very family oriented. We both don't drink, don't party, don't like to go out a lot. Homebodies. We link up a lot like on our major things, you know, like with wanting kids and how many kids we want. But yeah, I mean, in some of the things we vary. Like he's really into like desserts. I'm more into like coffee, but we can still go to Starbucks and I can get a coffee and he can get like a scone or something or a muffin, you know? So yeah, let me go back to the question, make sure I'm getting this right. How do you and Corey manage to be compatible in a world where everyone has their own opinions? I guess the bottom line is Corey and I are compatible. We're not the most compatible with the world. You know, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. But yeah, I think to answer that question, you know, Corey and I are compatible with one another and we're very like-minded when it comes to our lives and what we want out of life. But yeah, I mean, everyone has their own opinion. So I guess the point is like to try to settle down with somebody who wants similar things as you. And if you guys don't have all of the same goals and desires, that's fine. But really make sure that y'all are linking up on the things that matter the most. And I feel like that helps relationships to be a little easier, you know, because you can go an easy route or a difficult route in relationships. And thankfully, we're on the same page when it comes to everything that matters. The final question I'm going to answer is, what advice do you have for remaining pure in this world? And I guess it could be like pure in regards to purity and abstaining, or it could be pure in general and not becoming jaded and hard and tough. But regardless, I would honestly recommend guarding your heart. Be mindful of what you consume. Be mindful of what you take in. Because honestly, nowadays, and I know I sound like super old when I started going down my whole nowadays route, but honestly, nowadays, the media, it really is, if we're being honest, it's not righteous most of the time, unless you're specifically searching out Christian content. I think that media can be so intentional about trying to pull people away from God, whether it be like vulgarity or just desensitizing people to everything that we should be sensitized to. You know, everything is so vulgar these days, and it's like, it's just tough. So in order to remain pure, I think it's important to seek God. Be okay with not going with the crowd. Be okay with going against the grain. Honestly, I feel like that is what makes all the difference. So how to remain pure is remain true to yourself. Seek God's approval before you seek the world's approval. Seek God's direction before you search for your direction from what others are doing, because you'd be surprised. So many people really honestly don't know what direction they're going in and can so easily lead others astray. So seek God. And when it comes to sexual purity, just stay the course, even when it's challenging, even when it's tough. I promise you, it really, really, really does pay off. And you can never go wrong with trusting in God. Like, trust in God. Do not try to take matters into your own hands. Do not try and find, you know, something that's good for now when you're waiting for God's best. If you're waiting for God's best, truly wait for God's best. And I'm not saying it's not hard, but be diligent. The Bible says, do not grow weary in well-doing, because you will reap a harvest if you faint not. So if you feel like fainting, giving up, giving in to lustful desires, your sinful desires, nature, your sinful nature, don't give into it. You literally have the power to persevere. You have the power to be pure. And if you have fallen off, you have the power to get back on track, and not by your own power, but by the power of God that resides in you, by the power of the Holy Spirit. Purity is difficult, whether it's culturally, you know, with how you dress and how you present yourself, what you choose to talk about, you know, where you choose to go. It's not just about, you know, sex and abstaining from sex, but it's also about how you present yourself and what rooms you allow yourself to be in, what things you allow to get into your mind. You know, like, life is hard enough as it is, but don't make it harder for yourself, you know? So I think it's important to really stay the course, even when it's challenging. Don't be shocked when it's challenging. You know, life can be challenging. It's tough, but stay the course. You literally have what it takes to persevere. And I want to encourage you to keep up the good fight. Keep fighting. You got this. Like, nobody said that walking with Christ was going to be easy. It wasn't. It's not. You know, it wasn't easy for Jesus. It's not about to be easy for us. It was hard for him. When you see people going down the path that most people are following, and you feel like God is leading you down the narrow path, go down the narrow path. Trust God, because the Bible says that the path to righteousness is narrow and very few will find it. So keep up the pursuit of righteousness. All right, y'all, so that brings us to the end of today's Q&A video. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I will have some other Q&As that I've done linked down below. But yeah, if you haven't already, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Giving it a thumbs up helps me to be discovered by new people. It works with the algorithm. And also drop a comment as well. But yeah, that's it. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next one. Bye.